Today we're going to cover how good or not the S23 and S24 line of phones ND filter, electronic ND filter update that came along a while back, and see how good they are and can they replace a physical ND filter. So you might have seen one of my previous videos where I was showing you the purpose and why you want to use an ND filter. So have a look at that video that explains why you need one. And I'm going to create a benchmark here in this video and show you the reference picture taken with a physical ND filter. This is a 10-stop Hoya 1000, a very good filter. It's 10 stops light, so it will reduce by 10 stops the light coming into the camera. I'm going to take a picture with this and with a very long shutter speed, for example, 3 to 5 seconds, which is pretty long. And I'm going to take a photo with that, and then I'm going to take a photo with a built-in ND filter, so without this, but with the electronic one that's built into the phone. And we're going to compare and see, hey, is it that good? Can we get rid of these physical filters or not? So let's jump right in. We're going to start by taking a photo, and I'm going to pour some water into this glass, and the idea would be showing a very nice kind of cloudy texture coming out of the water when I take the photo. So I'm going to use a long exposure, maybe 3 to 5 seconds, and we're going to have a look at how this works. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to screw onto this adapter this ND filter, the 10-stop one that I just showed you, and I'm going to put this onto the lens, and then I'm going to go into the Pro Photo mode. And this is a 10-stop ND filter, so it's going to be a bit dark, as you can see on the screen. We're going to try that. I'm going to make a couple of shots with different speeds, and we're going to see which one comes out best, and then I'm going to replicate that into the electronic filter. So you can see this very thin kind of cloudy impression happening in the glass. Now let's try the electronic ND filter that is built into the application. So for that, you have to go into more. Now, if you don't find this, so this is the option we're going to be using here in the bottom left-hand corner called Expert Raw. If you don't have it, it's because you need to install an application from the Google Play Store or the Samsung Store. Just type Expert Raw. It's from Samsung. Install that, you'll get this option. And now you're going to come into this mode. Now, so here on the upper right-hand corner, you can see this lab jar icon. You just press there and you have ND here at the bottom. Just press that and this is your electronic ND filter. You have to keep on going until you find that the exposure is kind of okay, which is starting to look a bit better here on the screen. So I'm just going to go up to, let's say, here. Okay, and the ND filter value is at 256. The exposure looks okay. Let's give it a shot. Actually, the results are looking pretty good. You can see that actually you are also able to have that kind of cloudy effect coming into the glass with a better capture of also maybe the water flowing in. So that gives it a kind of a nice touch. So now let's see if we could go a bit further in terms of exposure time and use this electronic ND filter. And actually, unfortunately, it seems that we can't. As you can see here, 4 seconds, and that is the maximum exposure time in terms of shutter speed that we can go into Expert Raw when using ND filter. So let me deactivate the ND filter here. And you can see that if I go back now, I can go all the way to 30 seconds of exposure time. This is with a 24 megabyte lens on the S24 Ultra. If I go with a 12 megabyte lens, still it's not changing anything as per se. Maximum exposure time is 30 seconds. And if I go even with the 50 megabyte lens, I'm still at 30 seconds. And even if I change and I go back to ND filter, you can see that if I go, let's say to let's try to lower the digital ND filter. You can see that we're still blocked at 4 seconds. So this is where the limitation is, right? As you can see, the 4-second result is actually okay. It's pretty good. It's on par, I would say, almost as the physical filter. However, you're limited with these electronic ND filters to only 4 seconds. So if you wanted to do any kind of a longer exposure of the sky, or you want to do nighttime photography, to get some nice circular patterns of stars and the rotation of the planet, which we call astrophotography. If you want to capture also the Milky Way and things like that. So unfortunately, you will not be able to use electronic filter because it limits you to 4 seconds. However, with a physical filter, you have no limitations in terms you'll only be limited by what your device can do. So if you didn't know about this option, I highly recommend you to test it out on your own photos. And if you ever post them, please feel free to share the link in the comments. I would be very interested to see what you guys have done. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.